What's going on, everyone? F1 Pit Stop here, and today we're going to talk about Kevin Magnussen. Who is he? His previous experience in F1, obviously he's coming back for Haas, and is he what Haas needs to finally have some success in Formula One? Let's take a look at his previous F1 experience. So on March 9th, it was breaking news that Haas had picked up Kevin Magnussen for the 2022 F1 season. Magnussen, of course, was a Haas driver with Romain Grosjean, who is kind of known for, one, being a Haas driver, but also his kind of crash, his insane crash that led to a blazing fire that he thankfully left with only minor burns. So Kevin Magnussen came up through McLaren's Formula One Young Driver program. He drove for McLaren in the 2014 F1 season, and that's when his F1 career really starts. In 2015, Fernando Alonso took his place at McLaren, making Magnussen the first reserve driver. So 2016, Magnussen still had some standing in the F1 community because Renault, remember that team, picked him up in 2016. And then from 2017 to 2020, he was driving for Haas, who he'll also be driving with in 2022. He, of course, in 2021, for the 2021 season, was let go, and Haas had two rookies. Both Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen were let go, and you had Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. Of course, for this 2022 season, it'll be Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher. Since he's driven from 2014 to 2020, minus him being a reserve driver in 2015, let's take a look at his standings throughout those years, how he finished in the Drivers' Championship. First year in Formula One, came in 11th with McLaren. It's not bad at all. 2015, obviously, reserve driver, nothing he can do there. 2016 with Renault, and his only season with Renault, he came in 16th. Then, 2017, when he started with Haas, came in 14th. Actually had a pretty decent season in 2018, finished 9th with Haas. And then stuff kind of started to fall back, where in 2019 he finished 16th, and 2020 he was 20th, tied with some other drivers who had 0 points, being speedy on the track. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. In 2017 they finished 8th as a constructors. 2018, decent, they finished 5th. That's a solid middle of the pack team. In 2019 and 2020 they finished 9th. And then in 2021, they finished 10th, and they were the only team to have 0 points. Now, it makes sense why Haas would want to go with Kevin Magnussen instead of a rookie. You want someone with at least some experience. He's been in the F1 for 6 seasons. That's that's experience. Now, of course, he was never at the top of the field or in contention at any of those points. But, it makes sense that Haas would want a driver with 6 seasons compared to one with 0 seasons. Obviously, they're kind of banking a lot on Mick Schumacher as, a famous name, brings in sponsorships, and if given a car, Mick Schumacher might actually be able to make something happen. Of course, throughout the few testings that have been going on, Haas hasn't shown anything too crazy. In fact, for one of the sessions on the first day, they didn't even have their car or equipment because of some shipping problems, which is just the most Haas thing in the world. I'm rooting for Kevin. If you've watched any of the previous Drive to Survive seasons, Kevin Magnussen seems like a decent guy, and you root for him even though there's really no chance. Hopefully Haas kind of forewent the 2021 season in order to build up for this 2022 season. We'll have to see if it pays off, and we'll have to see if the experienced Kevin Magnussen can outperform the second-year Mick Schumacher in the same Haas car. Appreciate you watching. If you're still watching, be sure to subscribe to the channel. A lot more F1 stuff coming your way. Thanks.